Is everybody okay? Are you breathing all right? Does it feel a little bit like you've just run up a Scottish hillside? Apologies, last episode I gave a vomit warning. It turns out I was one episode too early. Welcome to the roundtable. I'm Sarah Kennedy, and this is a deep dive into the semi-final of The Traitors. If you've not watched it yet, please go watch it. This is your spoiler warning. We're going to be going deep on this one. Come back and see me after you've caught it on iPlayer. Wow. We are at the semi-final stage, guys, and the first thing I wrote down in my notebook was, this is Rachel's game to lose. She is in such a strong position. I was so interested to see what was going to unfold after Farazatha Christie got all of those points right about her tactics and the manoeuvres that she's made during this game so far. Can the traitors ever trust each other? Stephen immediately briefing against Rachel at breakfast suggests possibly not. James, bless him, admits his arrogance at the round table last time and gives himself a D- for effort. It is Roxy who is chosen as the person that the traitors will murder. James basically has no one that he suspects now. The traitors want to put him in the frame. Roxy, in her parting words, says, I would love for Stephen or Rachel to win. She's so charming. She's so wrong. Worst traitor seeker ever? It's a tough contest. And then Claudia gets the nice reveal in about Judy being Roxy's mum, which is basically just tying up loose ends at this point because we're done with that. We want to get to the end game. I did like the scene of James massaging his own head, going, I love you, brain, come on. He has been authentic throughout. He's got this same over-the-top ADHD character. Nothing about that has changed. He's just gotten a bit louder, and I think everybody has. Now there's so much more space around that table and time to talk. Stephen's aggressive briefing against Rachel continues. Has he considered a career in politics? I don't think it's against the letter of the pact, which was they would not write down each other's names at round table, but it's not within the spirit of the pact, is it? Rachel is so cool though. I am sure she can keep her nerve throughout these 24 hours and beyond. Stephen, however, not sure about that. So the mission is obviously epic this time. It is the faithful collecting gold from shrines to their dearly departed. These are on a lake. Then they have to throw these gold rocks at a pot. It's basically all about limiting the amount of weight you have to carry on this very significant looking hill at quite high speeds to get all of this gold up to a shield by a monument, to fill that shield entirely with gold rocks, gold coins, and that's £10,000 for the pot, which is impressive. But what's really excellent, the faithful are really excited about, is there is the power to stop a traitor from committing the final murder. No murder if they can complete this task, and they will basically shield everybody from murder. So the memorial wreaths are floating on the lake, and we get the voiceover of the traitors wondering whether they want to sabotage more or whether they want money for the pots more. It's clear what Stephen values the most. Plus, it is all about optics now. Doing badly, slowing down, tipping the gold into the lake. The optics are bad on that, and that will look like quite obvious traitorous behaviour. Now there's so few people to hide behind. It is a real endurance climb. I would not want to be in their shoes at all. James does such sterling work. He goes off too fast. He's absolutely determined to make up for what he sees as his faithful shortcomings. He takes all of this back up the hill and then runs back down again. He's going to swap the stones for gold, throw the stones at the jugs or whatever they are, that will fall out of the tree. It's very elaborate. This is where we are at the stage in the game. Everything is more elaborate than it absolutely needs to be. On the way down the hill, Rachel gives him 2 bags instead of 1 for him to basically run away with, and she wants to make sure that he doesn't get back up the hill in time. In the confusion, she can blame him and say that was his behaviour, not hers. But she lays it on a little bit thick with Jade, who's there with her. And James is working so hard for the team. How can this possibly be seen as traitorous behaviour? He is exhausted, he collapses, he's working so hard that he's sick. All of the gold gets back up to the top of the hill, the shield is covered, the challenge is complete. If only James would join them. It's so tense. He needs a lot of encouragement to get over that finish line, and they manage it with seconds to spare. So the current total is £76,750. And then they go to the last proper round table, which is the last time the leaving player reveals their identity. Leading up to the round table, it is fascinating how many people are suspicious of Rachel. A normal person might be on shaky ground, but Rachel is so unflappable. She does get challenged. We do get to see this. People raise Harriet's suspicions. They talk about her love for Matt, but also her vote against him. And then they talk about the dagger decision as well. Interestingly, it's Stephen who moves the conversation on to James, who again talks way too much, always nervous, always making jokes at his own expense about himself being useless. The consistency of his character is remarkable, but it could be a tactic, couldn't it? All Jade can say to him is, "You confuse me." He is quite confusing, bless him. But he knows that he's playing a game from his heart. Stephen and Rachel question each other quite closely about the cages and about Fiona's wild behaviour. Rachel insists it wasn't traitor on traitor behaviour. And she says quite passionately to Faraz, "Don't take that away from me. That was one of the proudest moments in the game. I got a traitor out." Absolutely Oscar worthy, incredible. Encore. So, Stephen votes James and honours the alliance. And the vote is split between James and Rachel, and it is tied. And so James and Rachel have to do that plea for their lives. And I wrote down, well, James is gone then. This is Rachel's comfort zone. And so it proves to be, with a wonderful speech where she says, "I'm trying to be the best faithful, but what I hear and what I think a lot of the players hear is I am the best faithful in the game," because she kind of is. She's managing to be both. She can be best faithful and best traitor. It's a classic quote for all time, I think. And then, honestly, the gasp I gasped, because I think you could probably hear me from wherever you are in the country. Jack changes his vote to James, gasp. But then Jade changes her vote too. So we stay tied, and these silly little chests of chance come back out again. James and Rachel shake hands, very sporting, but I am distraught that Rachel's almost perfect game could come down to a pair of silly wooden boxes. But this is the perfect cliffhanger. Where are you going to be tomorrow night? You're going to be watching The Traitors, aren't you? Because you want to know what happens. Can Rachel possibly escape again? I kind of hope she does, because she's done so much work that doesn't even look like work. It looks effortless to get all the way to the final. It's so exciting. I can't believe we're here. Can't wait to share this moment with you. Have a great day. I know that all you'll be thinking about is what's happening on The Traitors. Same for me. And I will see you back here tomorrow for the roundtable. Latest, Traitors.